Is this the day that Donald Trump takes a huge step towards becoming the US president again? Well, it's Super Tuesday in America when 16 states will hold Republican primaries. And Trump is already well clear of Nikki Haley in the battle to be that Republican candidate in November's sensational presidential election. Well, to go over this now, I'm joined by Dr. Thomas Gift, who's the founding director of the UCL Center on US Politics. Welcome to the show, Dr. Gift. So all eyes on Super Tuesday. For those who aren't familiar with the mechanics of American-style voting, in a nutshell, what are we expecting to see at the end of today? How many states vote and how does it all work?
Well, thanks so much for having me, Martin. It's great to be with you. Yeah, the Super Tuesday is, as you said, huge because this is when the most states of any one day come to the ballot box and determine who the nominees are. Of course, in this case, it's a little bit anticlimactic because we already know the answer. But up until this point, we've had a sequence of states: Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, Michigan, Nevada. Now we're sort of going to see all of these states kind of come together at once. Each of them have slightly different voting rules, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to matter a whole lot. Donald Trump is well en route to obtaining the nomination. Since the very beginning, he's been framing himself as the inevitable nominee, and it won't become official after Super Tuesday, but unofficially, we all know that this is going to be Donald Trump versus Joe Biden.
So correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Gift, but it's about 36% of the total votes, total delegates we will know at the end of today. And we'll get a very, very clear picture then of the direction of travel. It's looking like nobody can stop the Trump train. The courts have tried to do that. Of course, yesterday, the Supreme Court overruled that Colorado ban of him being the primary. With all that in mind, it looks very much, does it not, like we're heading for a rerun of last time around. And at the moment, President Trump-elect Donald looks like the favourite.
Well, 70% of Americans don't want a Donald Trump versus Joe Biden rematch, and yet, ironically, that's exactly where you're trending. So you're absolutely correct. And when you look at the polls, both nationally and state by state in key swing states, battlegrounds, where this election is going to be determined, Donald Trump absolutely has the edge. Nationally, he's up by about 4 percentage points, and then state by state, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Georgia, all those places, he's looking pretty good at the moment. Of course, that's combined with extremely low poll numbers for Joe Biden. He's sort of sub 40% at this point, around 38, 39, depending on the polls. So if you're Donald Trump, you've got to be optimistic about where you are right now. And if you're Joe Biden, I think you have to be realistic about sort of the reality of the situation.
And in a nutshell, if we could, Dr. Gift, there's going to be one heck of a temper tantrum, isn't there, stateside, if Donald Trump gets in again?
Well, I think the left is certainly going to go psychotic. And I actually don't even really want to think about what that might look like in the context of a potentially contested election, regardless of who wins. I think that there are going to be Democrats and Republicans saying that the other side stole the election, that it was somehow illegitimate. Both sides, of course, are going to get lawyered up in case it does go down to the courts. And given the fact that this will ultimately be decided by 5 or 6 states, all of which are probably within the statistical margin of error, we could be looking ahead to recounts and sort of a redux of what we saw in 2020, and then before that back to 2000 with Bush and Gore. So it's something to look at.
We have to leave it there. Thank you very much, Dr. Thomas Gift. Excellent analysis. All eyes on America tonight.